Guys, welcome back to All Around Lego, and today we'll be reviewing Lego set 70802. Let's get into it. To start this review off, we'll go over some particulars first. This set was available from January 2014 to February 2015. It has 314 pieces, and at time of retail, it could be found for $30. As for the actual set itself, we'll go over minifigures first. The first figure, very common, is Emmett in all the Lego movie sets. Looks really nice. He's got the piece of resistance, his standard hairpiece with his two-sided face print. Nothing too special there. As for the other figure you get Bad Cop, who has a gray stud shooter. Shoots a red bullet like usual. It is very interesting to not see the usual black ones that are now featured in Star Wars. As for him himself, he has this police motorbike helmet with fake dots to put like a visor on, which I think is interesting. Very interesting and very nice how they're able to capture the white and black. Instead of having two separate parts, it does in fact mold up really well with that. It's a very nice mold. As for Bad Cop, he comes with two faces, his standard angry sunglasses face with his mouth open as if he's yelling. Very interesting how that looks. And then on the back you got Good Cop with his little happy face and his regular glasses on. Very interesting how you can do both of those, even though in the scene I don't believe there is a Good Cop featured. As you can see on the front, he's got the Super Secret Police logo, his radio, a couple zipper pockets, a main zipper for his jacket, his belt, which comes around, and then you can see the rest of his walkie-talkie and his earpiece. Legs have no printing though. And then also included are two old-style alligators. By 2014, there were obviously new ones. These are like the 1990 style ones, which I actually think were better for the set, like even for the movie. Obviously it's movie accurate, but I think gives you a bit of that nostalgia. Anyway, it has, red and blue lights on it, both of them, since they are police. It's got the old tail with the spikes. You can move it and position it any way you want. The body is pretty standard, has a 2x4 brick essentially underneath it so that you can clip it on instead of having it under the feet. As for the detailing, it's very nice, looks really good. And then for the face, you got the indents for the eyes. The mouth can obviously open, nothing inside. Can't really fit anything in there since it is all filled in. However, it looks really nice, and then you can get that crocodile jawbone, and two of those are included. As for the actual set itself, two builds are included. Bad Cops, I'm going to call it a swamp speeder. And then you got a bit of a train track bridge. Underneath the bridge you can see a bit of water detailing, a bit of pebbles with a frog. I guess that's another figure that's included, but it's not really a figure, it's a one-piece thing. It's not really its own individual, it's just part of the build. Then you got four stands that go up into a bunch of Technics pieces that actually look really well. They add to the track base. Very well done on that standpoint. And then if we come take a look at the tracks, you can actually see the tracks very well detailed. Instead of having them all the same, they have parts that are chipped out, separated, missing a bit of the track, and everything just doesn't match up, which I think is really nice. Definitely gives the feel for an old Western styled one. I really like how it looks. I think it looks really well. It's got this clip at the end of the side, as if it had been blown up, which it had. If you look down, you got a bit of the track actually that fell onto the sand and remained. You got a bit of the wood. It's a nice little feature to have extended out. Also provides more structural integrity, which is nice. You got this little overgrown, I guess, swamp piece off to the side, moss, I guess is what it's representing. And then it has this red Technic rod that goes underneath, and if you pull it out, you can actually make this fall as if it were part of the explosion too, and you can have Emmett fall down to his impending doom. However, it's really nice, very simple feature. It's just a piece or Technic rod that you just pull back and it'll fall on its own, and then it goes into this little spot here. Very clever play feature for a otherwise pretty useless part of the set, just to add $15. However, I think it looks really nice, and it provides a lot more than you might expect. Now for the highlight of the set, Bad Cops Swamp Speeder, as I have called it. It's actually really well done. As you can see, the hood of the Swamp Speeder actually goes down from the spot. If I can get it, you can actually see how this would be straight. That kind of looks a little goofy, so they actually were able to make it go down, which I think is really good. It goes cohesively and pretty well with the two front spears that are kind of jutting out. You got the Super Secret Police logo. In front, you got a couple of headlights and this bar that goes up to create the front grille. I think it looks really nice on that. Very well designed and super well all around, and then it merges in. And the gap here isn't that big, it's barely noticeable. I bet the camera's not even, okay, I guess it will pick it up. But if you have a couple black pieces down there, it'll be pretty much unnoticeable. The black and white color scheme also goes really well. And off to the side, you will see two sticker decals, the Super Secret Police on either side. These parts jut out a bit, which I actually think look really nice. For some reason, not entirely sure why. It just adds to the overall aesthetic of the build. And if you pop them up like this, they actually fit into these slots right here really nicely, like that, as if it were in a super tack mode. And then off to the side, you have two very identical cannons that you can pull out, turn if you really feel like. However, once you do that, you can't turn it any other way, so you have it turned this way. And I guess at this point you could try and go for sort of a slant to give a better look if you really felt like it. I assume that looks a bit cooler than just this. However, when you have them out, you have his cannons, and then you can lower this to make it look a little better and concealed. Off to the side, they jut out quite a bit. However, this is, you know, not on a street, and they shoot really well. Or no play feature here. Definitely thought a flick fire missile would be, but then you wouldn't have the incredible foldability of those, and they're actually able to really well conceal them. I really like how LEGO was able to go through with that. Over here you have no doors, but you have little cushion pads, and then you have an opening where if this is open, you can just walk in. Around the back, you got a couple more lights. You got the engine thrust, which I think is interesting to see the tire pieces, or generally what's used for the tire covers. Like, you'll have the tire underneath it, actually covering the engines. I think that looks really nice. It creates an oval shape. Looks really well. And then you got two more spear looking things back here that don't go all the way match up with the engine. They go a little past, which I think looks really well. And then the only area with the white color scheme is right here. Where's the black there? I know I mentioned it earlier. In the back, you have a spoiler, which is certainly, as Sari attempted it, it is one piece on a rotating thing. You could make it go down if you really felt like it. However, you're supposed to have it back up. But I've had issues with just moving it, and it comes off all the time. And I don't really like how that is. However, nothing much to complain. You got this open like trunk area back here where you can hold it for more swooshability. Very sturdy model. Works really well. It's really nice how LEGO actually put a lot of effort into this. This thing will not break if you try. I mean, I feel confident that I could throw it off maybe the stairs and it would only have minor damage. As for the hood, it actually heads up a bit, which I find very interesting for that, and it has no stud connection. However, I think that looks really nice. It kind of makes it look like a convertible type look where you can like pop the roof and have it go at a slant. I think that's what it looks like. Looks really well. You can see Bad Cop 01, Vehicle 1 for him. He has the head of this ship and the fleet. And then you got a tinted window piece here. I think it looks really well. And then you can take your Bad Cop, you can sit him down, you have a steering wheel here. And then you got these two little bricks that jut out, which I really didn't know what they were for until I was thinking about if he is sitting down or even standing up. There are parts of the movie where he is standing up in here and he has his stuff, but that does not look what he looks like. He's way up higher, so you can put him on either of these pegs and have him yelling at Emmett or whatever, and the hood looks a lot more accurate with that. Could also have it lower, but I thought that was a cool feature for Lego to add. Looks really nice, and then you have these two studs that just fill in the look of it. It's a very nice design, very well made. Spoiler is a little bit weird though. Thanks for watching. Be sure to have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you next time in All Around Lego.